You have to be careful about making a weird show or watching a weird show.
Hello! This is Greg Smalley on Pod 366, a Weird Movies podcast, joined today, as I often am, by the salient Giles Edwards.
Hello, Greg. Hello, everybody.
And I've just noticed you have like a graphic of a pipe on the back of your wall.
On the back of my wall,
On
like that thing?
the other side,
Oh,
there's a pipe, is it?
yeah. Oh, a smoking pipe. Yes, that
Smoking
is.
pipe.
I don't know. Lots of my family's stuff is funneled into this house, and that is some historical thing that I'm sure has something to do with a forebearer from days of yore. So I
Okay.
actually don't. I've never read that thing I have on my wall.
It probably says this is not a pipe, but at any rate, we are here to go through some weird movie news and new releases. And we're going to start with some new releases and hopefully go through them fairly quickly. Let me bring up today's slate. Can you see the screen, Giles?
Yes, I can. I see. Looks like 10 images.
All right. Well, let's start. We got some stuff to discuss, but let's start with new releases that can be taken care of quickly. And wait. That's the wrong thing. That says the Epstein files. I'm sorry, that hasn't been released yet. We can't discuss that.
Oh,
So there we go. Let's get to the stuff quickly we can discuss. We are allowed still to discuss these releases. We have one, two, three, four, five physical media releases to cover very quickly. And Giles, why don't you describe this spread for the first one? Very attractive.
sure. This is front, back, and then inside of, oh gosh, it looks like a beautiful steel book release for this particular motion picture. There's some gold jagged lightning motifs going on, along with slightly stylized screen capture-esque images of a very gaudily dressed or sometimes not very dressed at all cast. That's on the back of this steelbook release. Features also a very prominent electricity tower and a mansion with a moon ominously rising over the back. And we see oh gosh, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven of the leads from this picture, some looking very spacey, all of them looking very flamboyant. And on the front of the steelbook, we have, well, it's an interesting choice for a portrait shot that stops just below the nose of a tilted head and ends just below the right elbow of a bent arm of a white face painted individual with red lips, curly hair, big honking pearl necklace, and a sort of gender ambiguous tank top kind of thing with lots of leather overtones and sparklies, and well, I know it's a fake tattoo on this cartoon-esque image that has a top hat resting on a pair of down pointing lips, and on this top hat is the number 50 in a sort of dripping crimson pair of numbers there, mimicking the title font. And inside we can see there are at least two discs to this, and that's either, I guess the insert's removed, but when you remove that insert, you can see the glowering face of the lead of this particular film, who is incidentally not the titular character.
No. Okay, very good. So if you haven't guessed yet, this is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is a 4K steelbook release, the ultimate in physical media, and containing a Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray in addition, 50th anniversary release, 20th Century Studios. Probably no special features that have not been seen before, but that's it. Rocky Horror Picture Show in 4K, and another movie that's now in 4K. Again, just 4K release. You want to describe this cover, Giles?
This is a famous cover here. The background are tall, bottom to top, red curtains that are closed, although there's a little peak maybe in the middle. And over this is superimposed a very large half locket with, we can see that it is in full form, probably heart-shaped. There is a young blonde woman's face, photograph style, featured on this, and the right half where the jagged edge, where the 2 points of the lockets were we to have the other one would meet, there is orange glowing flame. Yeah, I suppose it's worth mentioning also that with some wavy lines at the bottom, it's not just curtain, but some black and white flooring done in, I guess a creepy zebra striping kind of thing.
Yes, and if you didn't get it from that description or can't see it, it is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. There's also the Criterion Collection logo on it because this is the Criterion Collection 4K upgrade for Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, a movie that needs probably no introduction and has no special features or anything to recommend it other than the fact that it is the 4K upgrade.
Yeah, it does seem to be a bunch of repeats of what's always been on that disc.
Right. Repeats, repeats, repeats. Same with the Rocky Horror, just new format for the disc and new packaging for the Rocky Horror, not new packaging for the Twin Peaks. And next we have a couple that are linked. So we'll go ahead and let you do them together if you like.
Sure, these are both very steelbook looking, done in a dark children's fantasy style. The one on the left has a purple color motif throughout, certainly on the front with, I don't know, looks like there are three suns there, perhaps coming together over a rather pointy, baroque, organic, creepy castle thing that seems to be thrust out of the barren ground. And on the back, in a sort of darker purple backdrop, standing in front of that is there's a drawing of an ornately dressed bird, lizard-looking kind of creature that definitely could be the stuff of nightmare fuel for any young people who might be watching this for the first time. So exudes power, to be sure, but is certainly a grotesque individual. And that is the left-hand steelbook front and back. And on the right, the back is much simpler and is a fairly pleasant green, a sort of olive hunter green with a door knocker with a cryptic face on it, holding the ring one would lift and then hit the surface with. And on the right, situated amidst, some 10 or so very different fantasy, creepy, fun, crawly creature types, giant, a lizard guy, strange snouted thing, something with sort of Oscar the Grouch with sort of mop top hairdo. And centered is a human baby, all done up in dark children's storybook style, sporting a striped headband for one reason or another that I can't quite remember why because I only saw it once.
Why he's wearing a headband?
Yeah.
I can't answer that either. I've seen it multiple times, and I think it might be just a design choice.
Okay, well, it certainly looks right, but yeah.
Okay, so these are two steelbook 4K versions of Jim Henson's pair of 80s features, Puppet Kid, sort of weird features, The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth. These were previously only available at Walmart. They were Walmart exclusives for a while. We're reporting on them now because they are now available everywhere. You don't have to go to Walmart to get them. And so that's all there really is to this, except I do want to say I really like the design on the Labyrinth one, the baby in that sort of nest of goblins. Well, they're not all goblins, but
Not goblin and goblin related.
yeah, goblins and goblin related things. So that's Dark Crystal and Labyrinth on 4K Steelbook. So we got four 4Ks out of the way. Here, this one I think is just going to be on, no, it is 4K and Blu-ray. So
Okay.
here we go. You want to describe this new release.
Yeah, sure. This is a very text-heavy uh, Blu-ray case here. Lots let's see, you got a three-color bar on the left with a whole lot of verbiage in orange section, blank white section, and then in the bottom left corner telling us it's 4K. Uh, then going to the right, so this sort of looks like a book with a very wide bit of binding, I suppose, is in bold, tall, red letters, the title, one word, a name, I believe. And sort of centered in the front on the right-hand side is a picture of two middle-aged guys in what looks like a pretty winky-dinky town in the middle of an argument. Circumstances suggesting it might turn hostile, overtly hostile soon. Fellow on the left has a sort of cowboy kind of hat, white shirt, blue jeans, and a gun. Fellow on the right has sort of maybe a plaid thing going on with a warming vest over that, and I believe certainly the guy on the right has a mustache to the scraggly beard of the guy with the gun on the left. And then below that, there's even more verbiage that I guess describes the technical specs of what's contained herein.
Okay, and the gentleman on the couch. Do you recognize either of those gentlemen, Giles?
I do. The one on the left is character played by Joaquin Phoenix.
That's correct.
And the one on the right is that actor who's been in everything. Pedro Pascal, that's it.
That actor who's
The guy who has been in everything in 2024 and 2025.
Yes, Pedro Pascal. Yes, so that is Eddington on Blu-ray from A24. Just wanted to mention that for Ari Aster completists because it's not really a weird movie, although I do recommend it. And I will say that this Blu-ray comes with a making of doc and 6 very cool collectible postcards.
Yeah, just scroll down to look at those. Nice sort of, 50s vintage or even older feel for, yes, New Mexico and little points of interest in that area.
Right, and that movie, of course, not set in the 50s, but set in the pandemic, rather famously. Although it has kind of a 50s look and feel there, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's for
All
sure.
right. That's just a notice for anybody, any Ari Aster completists. And now let's move on to 4 items of news and upcoming theatrical releases. And we're going to start with this image, Giles.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll start with the background. We're in maybe a mine of a big open pit mine. That is not one of those, cramped underground things with some heavy machinery. Can just barely see the gray yellow sky as it looms over the brown yellow rocks below. In the foreground, we've got 3 individuals. In the center is a young woman with some substance smeared over her face, perhaps with purpose, as perhaps some stylized markings. And she's got a rugged t-shirt on, obviously some sort of knapsack, wearing a helmet with a miner's lamp kind of thing on it. And she is flanked by 2 very grizzled-looking fellas who are either dark brown through genetic predisposition or from being covered with grit. It's hard to say, at least for one of them. And they also have mining appropriate helmets on. Knapsack bands are apparent here, and all looking a bit dirty compared especially to the center woman who, despite the smear of stuff, looks very clean for this milieu.
Oh, okay. And do you know what this image is?
I can only guess.
Well, first off, does it look like totally photorealistic?
It does not. No, there's a little too much cherubiness certainly going on with the center entity. So, yes, that reassures my suspicion that this is a still from the Sweet Idleness.
The Sweet Idleness is the name of this upcoming motion picture. I suppose you would say it's a motion picture.
It does have moving pictures.
It has moving pictures, although I don't think there's any camera involved because This is going to be billed as the first AI-directed movie, The Sweet Idleness. Sure to be controversial. Italian producer Andrea Iervolino
Yeah.
has launched an AI label, and this is the first movie produced by it. I don't think it's completed yet. It is the directorial duties will be credited to an AI agent called FellinAI.
Oh man,
Wow.
that's bold. Is about as
FellinAI.
diplomatic as I can put that.
The synopsis. Amid cathedral factories, mechanical clowns, and surreal processions, the last workers become the final masks of a humanity that resists the insolence of labor. So it is about a future slash dystopia in which AI and robots run everything and humans simply enjoy their leisure. Um, yeah, well,
Hmm.
was a trailer. Did you see it, Giles?
Oh no, I didn't. I did read the article though, and mm, yeah.
So, uh, trailer has a large bit of that uncanny valley character that you expect from AI still. Um, And of course, a human really directs this. They do give the prompts to the AI, and then the AI may do what it wants, but the human is obviously going to edit it and reject some takes and accept others. The cast is from people who have agreed, actors who have agreed to be filmed and be transformed into AI characters, but they apparently don't, act. There's no camera. Um, so is it a movie? I guess, it's an art experiment more than anything. Sure to be a little weird, and I imagine it's going to be off-putting for a large number of people,
Mm.
considering the controversy that came with the first AI actor, Tilly
Right.
Norwood, who doesn't star in this. I mean, she's the first AI actor, and she doesn't get into the first AI directed movie.
She needs a better agent.
She needs a better AI agent. Uh, how did that happen? But so, what do you think, Giles?
Well, I think this highlights one of my main problems with this is this movie is about presumably a humanity that toil has been replaced by machines.
Right.
And that I have no objection to toil being replaced by machines because I think art should be left to the humans. And so the fact that this is an art not really fully made by, people, at least in the traditional sense, that's like, oh, this is another instance where no, we're outsourcing art to the programs and machinery when we should be outsourcing the annoying lifting up and putting down of stuff.
Mhm. Okay. Um, the theme of this movie is certainly reminiscent of a movie that we covered sort of extensively in an interview, Love and Work. You
Yes.
recall, was about Love and Work was a very low budget movie from Pete O's. We
Yeah.
did an interview with a number of the cast and the director, and that movie is about a future in which work is illegal and humans, because it's presumably been taken over by AI and robots, and there's this
Yeah.
underground cult of humans who secretly go to work in offices and do things.
Yeah, and it's hard to say with that movie because all the images, everything is very low tech in that movie. I don't remember seeing anything with any processing power.
No, no, but I think that was a budgetary limitation.
No.
I
Yeah.
think the
Certainly worked for the
yeah, I think the
feel of the movie.
implication was supposed to be that automation has overtaken all the
Mm.
work and people are not even allowed to work because they take jobs away from AI.
Right, right. Heaven forbid.
So that is the Sweet Idleness. No final date on that. Um, we'll keep an eye out for it. We ought to do, I think I may want to do some sort of mini symposium about AI in movies with, if we can wrangle up some guests who have opinions on that, people who have both used AI in their projects and people who oppose
Yeah.
AI, and just sick them on each other and let them.
Yeah, they'll certainly all be better informed than me.
Yes. All right. Speaking of AI, this one has a little bit of an AI connection, a strong AI connection. Do you want to say what I've chosen here, Giles? For
Oh yeah, this is a photograph of the fella behind the new movie "Fuck My Son." This is director Todd Rohal standing in front of the TIFF backdrop.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very good. And he, F My Son has been in the news a couple times with us. I think this is our third time talking about it because he keeps finding a way to get this movie in the news from some sort of controversy or other. It's just opening now, and it will be opening. There's a list of places it's opening. I'll have a link for that in the blog post accompanying this. It's going to be showing in New York, Los Angeles, and Austin, and the major, the usual suspects places with these art house theaters that specialize in these kind of transgressive midnight movies. The movie is about a mother who wants to get her mutant son laid, and apparently is very X-rated, and has the odd style of comedy that Todd Rohal enjoys. He's back in the news, however, because this time, although he had issued a disclaimer with this movie when he released it that AI was used in this movie, once it was released, apparently a bunch of people who reviewed it were complaining that there was AI in it. So this has prompted Todd Rohal to release a letter, which you can read in full on Variety, and we will link to it, discussing how he used AI in the movie. Any thoughts, Giles? Did you read the article? And
Yeah, I did read the article, and he's very thorough, and I do recommend that anyone either interested or concerned about this read the fellow's words and only perhaps pass judgment after you have done so.
right, so he used it. Let's see how he used it. He mostly created almost everything himself in programs like Photoshop, After Effects, Blender, animation, and then used some AI images in other spots. One like a fake logo, something called PervoVision audience shots uses some AI generated things. Something called the Meaty Mates, an animation that's included in the film, includes some AI instances in there. And that's about it. I think he says there's some very few other bits of what he calls AI blips of nonsense, memories, meat, and perversions. And there is some, mixed together with some digital artwork. And apparently it's a very small amount of overall content that he has supplemented. Of course, the controversy is people are going to say, well, one, you took work away from artists who could have done this for you, and two, the AI trained itself on artists who didn't get compensated for their work. So to me, it's a very small amount of content, and I wouldn't have a problem with it myself. I do understand why some other people have a problem with it. It's certainly nothing that would lead me personally to boycott this film. I don't know. What do you think, Giles?
Oh, I think I love this kind.
You think what?
Uh,
You love what?
yeah, and obviously, from everything I've read about this guy has poured his heart and soul into it and has made something that without him certainly wouldn't have existed, and without him wouldn't have, used the artist's efforts that were used, the acting talent, the many effects people he hired. It seems like the only people who may have sort of gotten stiffed. I do like the fact that he mentions he uses. Oh yeah, quote, AI was also used to help me complete the K-1 forms to deliver to our 35 investors and complete the LLC tax filings, which I know nothing about. And I have effectively no qualms about lawyers being stiffed, vis-a-vis.
Well, I do, but
Well, Greg, you have your you have your brotherhood to look out for. Um,
and also in my limited uses of AI to try to fill out forms and things, I found that it's not trustworthy. It makes
I
mistakes.
I have heard that from other lawyers.
And if you have to go and check all the work anyway, you might as well just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, that said, yeah, until we get that symposium up and running, I'm going to leave it at I don't like it and it's complicated.
It is complicated. Okay, so those are our two AI bits of news. Now we can move into our final segment of news, which is the Crispin Glover segment of the movie. So let's start with this one, Giles. What do you
Hmm.
see?
We see the back of an individual with slick back hair, can see the side of goatee, has possibly some sort of white uniform thing on, and they are holding up an egg in front of a rather skeptical looking fellow in a dark green, light green checked shirt. He's got a something of a moppish haircut that would be seems to be what he's had a variant of for the past 30 or more years. And as he regards this egg held by this individual, we see a side profile of. In the background, we can see a whole lot of like stuff, little, cabinets, desk surfaces, all manner of piled books, an old lamp. There seems to be a model galleon by a window just over the check shirt guy's shoulder. So real cluttered. That it's only perhaps the fact that it's center screen and white that the egg in this frame it draws the eye.
Yeah, and if you watch the trailer, I think you'll see the entire movie is very cluttered,
Oh yeah.
deliberately as a aesthetic. Excuse me. This is called Mr. K. And that gentleman there is Crispin Glover. And somebody in the YouTube comments I noticed said, "How is it that he looks exactly the same as he did in uh, uh, Back to the Future?" Uh, Now in his probably 50s, late 50s, I'm guessing. He's probably about my age. And he looks exactly the same as he did. Well,
Yeah.
not quite, but
Probably all that clean living and weird movies.
yeah, yeah, you know that. So anyway, this is called Mr. K. It is from Crispin Glover, Music Box Films. It's from a director named Tallulah Schwab, who is Norwegian, despite the name Tallulah Schwab. Um, and stars Crispin Glover as Mr. K, the titular Mr. K. Obviously, a nod to Kafka, and it is about Mr. K finding himself in this hotel, which he wanders through and finds himself trapped, unable to leave, sort of exterminating angel-esque there. Also, there may be a subplot where the hotel is collapsing. But essentially, it is Crispin Glover wandering around this hotel looking for the exit and encountering various strange characters as he does. Have you seen the trailer, Josh?
Yes.
Giles, not Josh.
Yes, I have seen the trailer. Definitely looks right up my street. Dirty, cluttered, strange. Crispin Glover, who, looking it up now, is 61,
Hmm.
which suggests he was in his early to mid 20s in Back to the Future. And so yeah, this that whole thing looks promising, and almost a shoe-in for Apocrypha
Definitely a shoo-in
status.
for coverage. It is, I
Well, we're
will
certainly
say,
covering it, but I would say it's almost shoe-in even just to
oh,
apocryphize it.
it's a neo-surrealist movie for sure. Zachary Lee of RogerEbert.com apparently called it the weirdest film I've seen this year, but I don't know what other films Zachary Lee has seen. He's probably not the kind of guy who's going to dial up, baby invasion. So,
Hmm.
however, another Roger Ebert reviewer was less kind to it, saying that it amounts to secondhand surrealism. So, um, but in general, reviews have been pretty good. I think it's 75% positive at Rotten Tomatoes when I looked at it. So that's not bad. And although it does, a lot of people have said it reminds them of Lynch and of Buñuel. The whole setup kind of reminds me of Sanatorium Under the Hourglass by Haas, the
Hmm.
Polish version, not the new Quay Brothers version, because it's just about a guy in a building moving from room to room and encountering various surreal situations.
Well, here I found a user review on IMDb, which makes me hopeful. Its subject is weird and surreal, but enjoyable. The best comparison that I can make is that this film is a mix of Gormenghast, Neverwhere, Brazil, with a bit of David Cronenberg thrown in.
Yeah, other things I've heard people say is the delicatessen is
Hmm.
a touch point for the sort of the look, I guess, the very cluttered look, and that what was that? Was it like Poseidon Hotel? Was
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah.
Name of
That's
that?
kind of I like
Reminds
that.
me of that one as well.
Yeah, that was a down at the hill establishment.
Giles, we have one more thing to cover, but we just have a few minutes, and this does include we're going to watch a trailer.
Hmm.
So if you're up for it, we're going to pause and come back. Of course, it will be invisible to the viewers, but let's do so. And then we're going to watch a trailer and then comment on that movie, and then we will be done and wrapped up. So
Sounds good.
be back in just a second, everybody. Thanks. And we're back, although you probably didn't even notice that we left. But we do have one final thing to discuss. I am going to share my screen again, hopefully, and then after I share this, share it one more time for a trailer. But before we get to the trailer, let's describe this image.
Yes. This is a middle-aged fellow. Certainly looks middle-aged, but golly, if we didn't just learn he's older than he looks. He's got a very serious expression and is showing to someone just over our left shoulder as we look at the camera here a pocket watch. This guy has a looks like a black felt hat with a nice silk band. He's got a white collared shirt with a narrow black bow tie, and we can just make out the black either blazer or suit jacket that he's wearing as he stares cryptically over our shoulder.
Yeah, he looks awful lot like that guy.
Man, dead ringer.
Very similar. Dead ringers, yes. Doppelgangers, even. So that, of course, is Crispin Glover. The still is from Know You're Wrong or Spooky Action at a Distance, which is a movie Giles and Pete reported on back while I was in Spain.
Yeah.
And it is now being released. It will be in New York City at least. I do not know where else it is. Could not find any other listings. However, we may have somebody go see it and report on it. I don't know. I don't want to promise that, but I think it's quite likely that we will get a report on this one along with Mr. K. But we are also going to watch the trailer for this one and share it with you folks. This is one of those situations where we have the ability to watch the trailer on my local computer so that we can share it. Do you see a blank screen?
A largely blank screen with a traffic cone in the center.
Okay, that is VLC Media Player, and we're going to start this trailer right now. We'll have a little, since there are no words in the trailer, we can have a little bit of commentary about it and then maybe discuss it a little bit at the end before wrapping up. But here comes the trailer for No, You're Wrong, or Spooky Action at a Distance. It starts with a model train title. There's Crispin Glover.
That's his father.
Oh, that's Bruce. Is that Bruce? Yeah. Okay. He had a name. There's a pocket watch on a chain, which is going to be seen a lot in this trailer.
I imagine a lot also in the movie itself.
There's the woman a little girl putting the pocket watch chain on a doll, it appears. There is a close-up of the engraving on the black back of the pocket watch, which includes an eye and some arcane symbols. Crispin in bed with a woman, showing her the pocket watch. This is going to be a running theme. Picks up pocket watch.
I'm guessing if the Great War has just finished, this is the late 19 teens that were.
Seems like it jumps through time to me. Crispin Glover appears in several different forms, playing different type characters. This is a neat one. Puts the pocket watch into a crate with what looks like a baby and casts it down a stream.
And that crate has very casket-y overtones to me.
So parts of this are in black and white. This one is in black and white with some color added. Other scenes are in sort of a faded,
muted
color. More scenes of the pocket watch. There's the still image, I think. And there's Crispin with scars on his face, showing the pocket watch.
And another fellow, it looked like, with a matching pocket watch. A different woman with the pocket watch put around her neck.
Is it a different woman or the same?
Well, it's blonde versus brunette, so I guess it might not be a different woman, different hair.
Pocket watch. Close up of pocket watch.
Let's see. Here's where I don't know. I don't want to have him go down the crass route of marketing, but I imagine replicas of this pocket watch for sale would probably
so it's
have enough buyers.
And like a three links of chain are the main features of it. And there's the title, a film by Crispin Glover. The production company apparently Volcanic Eruptions, and we're going to end with a notice to go to his website, crispinhellionglover.com. crispinhellionglover.com, and that's it for the trailer. So before that, we knew nothing about and we still know very little about this movie. No, You're Wrong, or Spooky Action at a Distance, except that I think it stars not Crispin Glover but a pocket watch.
He might agree with you. Digging around the website, Crispin Glover routes you immediately to crispinglover.com. I have dug up some screenings.
Good.
Brookline, Massachusetts, November 3rd.
Is that the Brattle? Or
Coolidge Corner Theater,
Coolidge Corner. Okay. I've been.
with director there, it looks like, with Q&A and book signing. Earlier, October 23rd, Chicago, Illinois, at the Music Box Theater.
Mhm.
October 18th and 19th at Santa Monica, California, at the Arrow Theater.
Mhm.
IFC has it for, looks like 6 days, October 10th through 16th. New York City, New York, the IFC Center. And of course, already past last week, Museum of Modern Art had it at 6:30.
Was the debut, I guess. Yeah, and usually on Crispin Glover's directorial films, he does not put them on physical media or streaming. He tours them, and I imagine he's going to show up personally at a lot of these, if not all of them. Probably won't be all there for every day of the 6 day run and at IFC. Maybe he will, I don't know if it says, but he will be at many of them. And that's what he did with some of his other movies that are very obscure and can only be seen when he screens them.
And it looks like all these screenings are preceded by Crispin Glover's Big Slideshow, version 3, and that probably alone is worth price of admission.
Yes, I don't know what that is. As I said, hopefully we are going to have somebody there reporting on it. We do have a correspondent who is in New York City and is able to attend these type of things and has gladly gone to see the latest Quay brothers
Oh, yeah.
Torium film, so is not at all afraid of these. Also reported on us for another film, which is very similar to this, can only be seen when it's screened, the Cremator movies. So that should do it. That should cover everything. Giles, any final thoughts? Final thoughts on spooky action at a distance or anything else?
I mean, it all looks very cryptic and compelling, and stars not one but two Glovers. So if it were anywhere a little nearer to me, I'd probably truck over myself, but New York City is just far enough away.
Yeah, it's not going to come anywhere near me either. Probably the nearest it would get would be Columbus these days.
Well, I guess I could check out Brookline is probably far. I could see where that is, but yeah. So
Brookline
this looks cool. Hopefully there'll be a chance for a broad audience, even if one is on the hook for purchasing a physical media form of it. But
Brookline is essentially Boston, so.
oh, okay, so that'd be even further from me.
All right. Well, with all that out of the way, I do have, since we discussed AI earlier, I do have one mea culpa disclaimer. Our let's see if I got a picture here. Weird Movies Guide uses AI. Actually, all my entries were written by AI. But I did use AI on a couple of photographs, not to do the alterations, which I did myself in GIMP, but to do upscaling, which simply to increase the resolution of the photo by having the AI fill in little background pixels to make it richer with what probably should be there. So that I think is a uncontroversial way to use AI. It just took the existing photo, didn't really change it or alter it except by sharpening the image.
I suppose an alternative way to have gone about that is shrunk the volume down with smaller text, so you could have just used.
So just be a little miniature volume. But actually, to get it printed, it had to be in certain resolution. I couldn't find the proper resolution for some of the images, so
gotcha.
we'll do that.
Well, I am untroubled, Greg.
Yes, it's very untroubling. So, but I am disclosing it for anybody who's nervous. All right, so that will do it. Watch, subscribe, like, comment. Comments are very good. And buy the book, if you will, which is available at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Bear Manor
Yes, as it does every year, Christmas is coming, and I'm sure there are too many bookcases of people you know who don't have
Yes,
quality volumes like 366 Weird Movies.
right. And so we will sign off and do have a couple of guests down the line. Don't know exactly when they will be on. I guess there's a possibility it could be next week. If so, we'll announce it. If not, we'll just be back to cover the weekly releases as always. All right, Giles. Goodbye and see everyone later.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Weird. Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.